we're here for another stream. There was a big announcement last week on my B-Day. If you aren't caught up, if you somehow missed the announcements on Discord and on the Twitter and on the stream last week, then it's here. There's a tweet. I actually have a command that leads to the YouTube video. There's also a tweet. I'd appreciate, a like, a retweet, a comment if you haven't already on there. Get the visibility, because there's issues I talk about in that video that's important for everybody, I believe. Twitch is a platform. But yes, I talk about everything in there. There's no need to repeat myself because we talked about it for 3 hours last stream. So if you want to get all the info, watch the video and look back at that VOD from last week to get updated on what's happening there. But one thing I didn't say last week was that I didn't mention the day that I'm finishing up, the last day. We're going to stream for another couple of weeks. I didn't want it to be like abrupt and sudden. So we're going to stream this week, Tuesday and Thursday, and we're going to stream Tuesday and Thursday the week after. And that will also take us nicely to stream 260, which I thought would be a nice number to wrap the Twitch live streams up on. It's certainly been a ride, a journey. I didn't expect to change my content and the way it is so soon, but it so happens it's gone like that. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I think it could be even better, the next chapter. So yes, these last few streams are going to be mainly going to be about the next chapter and getting prepared for it. Things such as getting the Discord glowed up so that it's super awesome, so people can't resist talking in it about the game. That's going to be a task. We got to do things that are going to take the other platforms we use to the next level. Also, I'm going to start a Patreon. If not this week, then it'll be the week after, and we'll think about what could be on that. And just general things that are just going to be really valuable to do on stream. So today it is going to be a Discord one. I mentioned it last time that we're going to be working on the Discord today, so that's going to be fun. I've been doing a lot of research over the weekend, so I'm really excited to share it with you, and the goal is to make the best Discord channel ever. So that's going to be something, isn't it? But I appreciate Azrael and Kia for those subs, even though I'm not going to be going on for another month of streams, but yes, another 2 weeks will be how long I've gone for. I appreciate anyone that continues to support me, especially on Twitch if I'm not streaming. Remember, I don't expect that if I'm not on the platform, but we will be moving on to Patreon, which is even better for creators than Twitch because they don't take 50-50, they take 10% instead of 50%. Alright, so another thing we did last week before we start on the Discord that I want to mention is we glowed up the barrels as well. We transformed their sprites into even more detailed versions, and they're there on the Lore Bible now, everybody. I've updated every single picture of where the barrels are to their new ones, and their profiles also have their new ones as well. I've also done their side sprites as well. Their side sprites look miles better than they did before. I always thought the side versions of them looked a bit weird with the old versions, but they're looking much more just better. It's looking better there, so I'm happy with that. They're also updated on the timeline as well. I believe I've updated every single picture possible. So even the ones on the dialogue trees I've updated. So if you spot an old Carol or an old Meryl anywhere, just let me know and I'll make sure to update it in case I've forgotten. So that's really cool. I will be working on some scenes. It's going to be much easier to work on scenes once the streams come to a close, because no distractions, full focus on getting them whipped out. And now we got the good barrel versions and new tile set. They're gonna look a bit different and better, hopefully. The tile set will slowly be gradually adding more detail to over time as well, but that's a long process because doing good art takes time, but it's going to be something you see gradually improve over the months. Raindrops, oh my goodness, imagine when the raindrops are gone, rip. There'll have to be a sort of leaderboard somewhere to sort of celebrate the raindrop kings and queens and legends of the channel. I'll support you there too once you are set up. Thank you so much, Ashley. I appreciate it. We're gonna have to make the Patreon, of course, appealing. There's gonna be exclusive content and things on there. Of course, it's optional. Still don't want to isolate or alienate people who want to get involved in the collaboration that are patrons, which is why the Discord is going to be totally free to get involved in. We're going to set up the channels today. We're going to get them looking cool. It's going to be miles better than it is at present, and everybody's welcome to chip in on the Discords to discuss the game and collaborate together. But we will have a Patreon discussion next week as well to talk about what could be on there as well. Shedding a tear for the raindrops. Top 10, yes. So, there's definitely going to be a sort of special, what should we call it? Some like Hall of Fame for those of you that got the most raindrops, so that we can remember that. Those of during our Twitch memories, we can look back on over time at the Hall of Fame of the Raindrop legends. Hi Tox, how you doing? Welcome back to the stream. How are you today? Good to see you. Carol emoji. I've actually, funnily enough, Tox has used that emoji. I've updated the Discord icon to Carol now because I want it to be very Raindrop Chronicles focused. I might change the Rain Army name to just Raindrop Chronicles now as the name of the Discord, so that it's purely focused on the game and the branding is consistent. And we will get on with these channels. Hi Sorter, how you doing? It's good to see you. To see you, Sorter. How are things? You're in the top, nearly in the top 30. I wonder if you're getting the top 30 before we close the Twitch streams up. Maybe you will. I'm not sure how long we should make this Hall of Fame list. We'll have to say. Okay, so I've talked about what we did last week. And we're just going to get straight into it now of getting on with the Discord. It's going to be a full stream dedicated to making an awesome Discord, folks, today. I have done a bit of research. I've found out some really cool things and tips and directions we can take this Discord that I didn't know before. So, very excited to get them implemented. Obviously Discord can be a bit limited as well. There's a few things I wish they added as features that could help us a bit more, but unfortunately not. But there's a way around it, a sort of hack I've thought of for now until they add a feature in the future. That I'll talk about that feature in more detail soon. when it's relevant. But there was something in particular I really wish Discord had that would make the whole collaboration even easier and more intuitive, but it doesn't exist at present. But we're gonna figure out a way to do it together. I thought of a cool way, so right. And that is such a depressing statement, but I hope you're well. Yeah, it's depressing because it's always sad when you have to say goodbye to one part of your life that's been a huge thing, but sometimes all good things come to an end. Okay, but one thing that won't come to an end is Raindrop Chronicles, that's for sure. The way the content goes might change and evolve, but never the game, because I'm too obsessed with it. Hi Dave, how you doing? It's good to see you today. How are things? How's your weekend? And how was your sore? I didn't ask. Antox, how was everyone's weekend? And I'm going to put the command in chat again for anyone who happened to not see the video last week, because another reason I want to stream another couple of weeks is so that everyone who hasn't been in yet knows, because otherwise I'll be like, Raz just disappeared, where is she? So this way anyone that drops in the streams will be informed, because I'm sure there's still tons of you that haven't heard the news yet. So alright everyone, so something I found which I thought was really interesting and I didn't know about, what a Discord noob I am, is this. Who else knows about this? Discover on Discord. I don't think it's been around for long, but it's a way to have a peek at other communities and see what they're like without actually joining the server. Because one thing I've never liked is joining servers and then leaving straight away just because you want to see how it looks, but you don't really want to stay. Has anyone else done that, or am I the only one? But with this Discover feature that Discord added, which basically, yeah, lets you explore public servers, you can do that. It lets you look at the most popular ones and search ones as well. And I did this because I wanted a bit of inspiration. I wanted to see how other servers did their Discords. I clicked the Lo-Fi Girl one, and I like the way they do the emoji thing just like I do, which I want to keep because it really keeps things clear. And they have these banner things here that are pretty cool, and everything's really neat and tidy. So there'll probably be banners in ours over time as well, visual stuff to help separate the mass of text, because there's nothing worse than masses of text. So you guys, honestly, I recommend anyone look at that because it's really cool to just nosy other Discord channels, and I never knew it existed. So yeah, okay, so back to our Discord. Chubb, oh my goodness, thank you so much for the 38 months. You guys being awesome today. First we had Azriel, then we had Kia, and now we got Chubb with all these gigantic sub counts. Thank you so much for your support. And hi Matt, how are you doing today? So good to see you. Hype in chat, everybody. I'm gonna give Chubby, I'm gonna give Chubb, I apologise Chubb, slip of the tongue. There we go. I'm gonna give Chubb a Woody emoji because Chubb loves Woody. So I've got rid of that. Don't like being called that. Well, I think it's a cute name, personally. But it's totally fine to not like it. And I promise I'll never say it again. How dare I? Rod, hope you're okay. Hi Rod, headed off for lunch, saying hi first. Won't be about on Thursday, sorry. Any plan for the rest of the week? No worries. We'll be thinking of you while you're not here on Thursday, Rod. But no worries everybody, because I'm streaming next week as well. 4 more streams left. We're on stream 257 today, and we're gonna go until stream 260. And stream 260, I'm going to mention as well, there is going to be a special reveal on that stream because it is the final Twitch live stream. It's not the final live stream ever, because I will be live streaming again on YouTube occasionally, obviously far less often, but they will still happen on a seasonal basis for now. So make sure you follow me on YouTube if you're not, if you're subbed on there. It's going to be that same channel my main channel. I'm probably going to just change the name of it to Raindrop RPG, so it's themed after the game, if it lets me change the custom link. But I've got nearly 400 subs on there, so I don't really want to start again from zero. Make sure to be on there, because otherwise I will be gone from your lives if you don't sub to me on there in the next 2 weeks. Unless, of course, you're following me on another one of my social medias. Oh no, big news. I don't like big news. I figured because it's going to be our last Twitch stream, there has to be something about the stream that's cool and fun to sort of show off and do. It's not anything to really do, it's something more to show you all about related to the game. That's pretty cool, I have to say. So that's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to give any more clues, but it is related to the game and it's visual. It's something for you to look at. That is going to be hype. So yes. Fake news, well, we'll see about that. You'll see come stream 260. Okay, so it's not bad news. No, it's actually very hype news, and it's cool for the game. Don't get your hopes up or anything. It's nothing like the game's not suddenly become super famous or anything. It's nothing like that. But it is something that's pretty like, whoa. You'll say. It's not going to be you telling us you sold out. No, that's why I wanted to make sure when I says it's not the game becoming super famous or anything. It's nothing to do with visibility or anything to that degree, or publishers. It's something more visual than that, like a picture to look at related to the game. That's your biggest clue I'm going to give you, but never as if I'd ever. Indie for life, me. I am never selling my soul in Carol to some suit who knows and understands nothing. Alright, everyone. And oh my god, it's going to picture you sailing in the yeah. This is like pure opposite day, because you guys know how like anti-EA and anti-corporate I am, so it's complete sarcasm to anyone who's coming in and might actually believe that. No, not EA. Hi Fantasia, how are you getting on? It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, it's lovely to see you. Really happy to see all your faces, folks. You're still stopping by even though there's not going to be loads of streams left. So I hope you've all had a good weekend, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing my plans for the Discord today, because I won't say it's going to be completely finished at the end of today's stream, the Discord, because there's a lot to do. There's a lot of content to get in. There's things like banners that I want to eventually get in the channels as well to make it more aesthetically pleasing to look at. And to break up text, but obviously things like that aren't going to be made overnight. It's going to gradually get added over time, and same with the text content as well. But we are going to like discuss ways that we can do it and make a good start today on this Discord, because it's going to get a complete glow up. So I want to start by redoing the channel list on the left here. We'll start there first. Then we'll move on to like removing the roles and thinking of new roles that we can give folks, because at the moment we've got these roles on the left. You can't see them all properly because they're kind of cut off. But I am going to completely remove what we got. Even I'm not going to have a role. Nobody's going to have one. We'll all just be blank, white slates. And we're going to think of roles that would be really appropriate and fitting with the game that are Discord focused. Eventually I'll probably have a role for Patreon subs, but there could also be roles for people who focus more on the writing side of the game maybe, and world building. Those that talk in world build, like, you know, we could give specific roles and we'll think about what they could be. I like my role. Well, in a way, you are the lore master, Van, and to some degree, that's going to still exist. I think it's relevant. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about what roles, because that's something I want feedback from with you guys too, about roles that you think could be cool and relevant to the community and the Discord. Because there could also be roles that are really cool that we haven't even thought of, but we could add. Like, the list is endless. I worked hard for that, yeah. You're so British, am I? Well, I'll take that as a compliment, Tox. If you're going to update the roles, make me admin. I promise to 100% corrupt by the power. Yeah, I see beyond Rosie Street. I think there definitely should be some sort of role for those that contribute, like, to even more. So Van, to a degree, is one of those contributors, so should probably get the credit for that. And having roles like that encourages people to talk a lot in Discord, which is ultimately what we want as well, because otherwise the last thing we want is for it to be dead, and then the game never gets discussed ever again. We go and make it the coolest place ever so people can't resist talking in here. That's going to be the goal. And at least it is an Activision Blizzard. Yeah, it'll never be any of them. Only me. I see me on Rosie's stream. I contribute sometimes. Should discussion of in-game written papers go in the dialogue channel, or should it be separate? In-game written papers. Define what in-game written papers mean. Do you mean like dialogue specifically, or do you mean the scripts, like the books that you'll find when you explore the world, or the lore little tidbits that we mentioned the other day? I think you might mean that, but you can clarify it with me. I did fan art once too. Yeah, I think like we should keep certain channels like that, but there's definitely, I'm going to get a Google Doc up actually, so I can actually write these down on rough before we add them to the actual Discord. So let me get that up. Well, you could have a writer or artist role, that sort of thing. Oh, Carol Fanjob, that's a really cool idea, Van. Like giving roles to whatever character you sort of stan. That you love the most. I think that'd be a really fun thing to do. What I was thinking of as well was giving out roles based on your reactions, folks, because I noticed in some Discords you can have a bot where if you click a reaction, you get a role that way. So we could always do that we can be like, who's your favourite barrel, and you click the reaction role for the barrel that you stan the most. And that includes Woody and Oliver as well, the barrels in their own way. We know which one Chub Cheeks would be pressing. Woody. I'd probably be the dinner role. Cat, yeah. And when you find books and stuff, does that go in the dialogue channel? It could do, but we're gonna like completely redo all this anyway. Like what we've got here, we've got just a handful of channels at the moment, and I'm thinking of just expanding on those, so we might find it could go somewhere else. So hold on a sec, Matt, because there might be another perfect place for that. but we'll talk about that in a minute, all that, because I'd love to get everything just roughly on a Google Doc before we start adding the channels, because if we change our minds, the last thing we want is to, you know, have done all that hard work and delete the channels. Oops, you're seeing a secret of mine. Yes, this little thing I have up here is something related to what we're going to be doing today on stream. You've seen the sneak preview. Here we go. So before we go there, here is the Google Doc. So let's just get, where's my favourite font gone? Bitter. That's my favourite font. It's the one I use on here anyway. It's better than Arial. There we go. Geographer. Villa roll. I want an Ashara roll by the Legends Farrell, and yeah, we'll think about that for the next. Once we've done the channels, folks, remember these roles that you're thinking of, don't forget, because they're really cool. But once we've done the channels, I'm going to put that as the title Discord chat. We'll do Discord role ideas so that we can list everything, and then we can get all the ideas, because I think having like a role after the characters is a really cool thing, but there could be so many cool role ideas that we'll think of. I'm over Woody now. I now stand the big moon tower thing I can't remember the name of. Well, you'll fall back in love with Woody one day, I promise you, because he's going to have a really good role in the game. Look at all those follow ages. Wow, so long. But I'm glad you stand that as well, because that's pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in. Go big. Okay, so folks, we are going to have, let's just get really detailed here in a rough way. We're clearly going to have a welcome category. This is the welcome category. So if you look at Discord, you've got categories at the top, haven't you? You've got information, chit chat, Raindrop Chronicles, real life things, media. That's how we've got it in the current Discord, how it is. And those categories are really cool because they help separate things. So we're gonna make sure we do all that. And we're gonna have probably information. If we look at what we have here, we have schedule and info is the first one. Obviously schedule isn't relevant now because there isn't one. Live announcements also isn't a thing, so I'd probably split join these two into just announcements. So, and that would go in anything that is an announcement, like important news, a new YouTube video. If I'm doing a live stream event on YouTube or something, if the Steam page gets launched, all like stuff like that would go in announcements. And information, we'd get things like the rules and all the standard stuff. Then we could have something like support the game as this next one. And that would have the links to the socials and the patrons and that, so that you can support the content. And I'll probably make a channel dedicated to that so that it doesn't go missed. Because I could easily just slot all that into information, but then the risk of that is it'll get forgotten about and then I'll get no support. But you guys never not support me. Maybe should be a role for individuals who made PCs and NPCs for game. Good idea. So at the moment what we do have is a legendary raindrop role, and that was given to anyone that reached 1,000 raindrops in the stream, even if they weren't a character. As long as you had 1,000 raindrops, you became a legendary raindrop. But I'm thinking of making a role specific for those of you that actually are characters. So, like Van says, now that you say that, so just change legendary raindrop to community characters maybe, and then you would have to actually be a community character to, pardon me, to blah blah blah, I can't think what I was going to say now, to have that role. Okay. Being a villain is special, that's why I want a villain role. Maybe I'm a bad villain. Yeah, so I mean we could have villain, ally and all that with the alignment thing if we want. I guess it's how much we want to expand that whole thing with the character you are. We'll see. We'll discuss that when we discuss the roles. So and probably general chat, because we're still going to have a general chat channel, that's not going to disappear. But you know, other than that, the focus is going to be about the game and the collaboration, so we're going to get straight into that after that. So I was thinking of having categories about the game, such as the world, the story and the characters, and then having the specific channels in there about them. We'd probably have an other one as well, where we'd have things like introduce yourself, random snacks, selfie corner, adorable pets, creative work, and the things like that we've already got in the Discord that aren't relevant to the game, and they'd go at the bottom because we don't want to like take away the attention on the game. So that's just like extra things that the community can share about themselves. My character's lawfully evil, I think. Yeah, maybe. It'll be fun to think of these roles, because even if we only have a few at the start, we can always expand on that over time. But it'd be nice to think early on what so that we got this in mind. I'd love to have time to discuss that today. I want to be chaotic evil, but I think I want to be more chaotic. And if you guys say it in chat now, that's fine too, because I'll look through the VOD and like sort of save all the role ideas you come up with. So the interesting thing about this is we were talking last stream of how I asked you all what the Discord limit was, if you remember, and I think we said it was 500 channels. Well, I'm going to say don't worry, because we're not going to reach 500 channels. That's a bit too much. It's going to be probably less than 100 at this stage. Quite a bit less than 100, but it's still going to be way more full than it is at present, because we've only got 6 channels at the moment for the game. It's going to be way more than that. But we're only going to just stay relevant with what is being talked about right now, and over time more channels might get added as more lore and more things, more story gets added. So it's going to be quite humble for the time being, but still quite like bigger than it is now. But it's not going to be anywhere close to 500 channels. That was very, very ambitious to think of that. But it's nice to know that there is a lot just in case, you know, who knows. Because having a sort of limit could be frustrating. My character's alignment is not neutral exhausted. Lol. If you add chaos to chaos, it cancels out and you just become order. Oh, spinny dirt to add reason to my chaoticness. I like that emote. The animated ones are really cute. I like it. Okay, so right, so as you can see, we've got them here, the world, the story, and the characters. So there's going to be channels in here. So we'll start with the world. So anything that goes in the world is anything related to world building. So places, history, races, magic, technology. Thinking of only the subjects we've talked about so far here. Economy, as in the currency, the war, the pantheon, the calendar, holidays, and language. And by language, that could mean like profanity, curse words of the world, language, sort of old language such as the Sa, the Ka, and the Da of the olden elves and things. But mainly I see it as a way we can add a bit of a unique touch with the language again in regards to the curse word thing, because that's one thing that would always be like really make the dialogue a bit more entertaining. But of course, we got to be careful we don't like use anything offensive. It has to be light-hearted and fictional. Alright, so those are the base world building things that we've discussed quite extensively on stream now and again. By places, I mean the world map locations. So now we've got the names of our continents. That would be a dedicated like world map sort of channel. And do not ruin my case with your obvious logicness and overall that just because I have, oh wow, they are scary emotes, Fantasia. Note that if you do remove some channels, you can lock them and put them in an archive channel sections. Instead of deleting some old posts can still get referenced. Great idea, Matt, because I was thinking of that actually. Like, some of these will probably get deleted because we'll have replacement channels instead of these. But of course, there's been so much good discussion in here that I wouldn't want to delete them because I'd want to look back on what's been said. So that's good. Hi True Baldy, how you doing? It's so good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. How have you been? Oh, thank you so much for that sub and Tetsu as well. Look at you guys. Thank you so much. Can we have some hype in chat for those subs, folks? I appreciate it. Even though I'm leaving. Which, if you haven't seen, folks, exclamation mark leave Twitch. Still streaming for a couple of weeks though. So, you know, it's not over yet. If you think I've already left, how dare you? As if I'd ever do that. And thank you so much for the hype. I appreciate it. How have you been, Tetsu and True Baldy? I hope you've both been well. I like that emote as well, Fantasia. It's cute. You've got an animated cloud. That's cool, Dava. I read about you leaving. I'm good, how are you? Oh, I hadn't seen that, been swamped with work. Hi Master Emerald, how have you been? It's good to see you. Yeah, totally expecting a lot of you folks to not even know yet because, you know, it's very normal to not always be online. I sometimes have time away from the net. So another reason I am streaming for another couple of weeks is because so I can continue to keep informing you all so they haven't just disappeared off the face of the earth. If there isn't already, add your humble link to the Discord. Yes, so that'd be a great thing, Asriel, to put on the support the game Discord. Anything like humble links, the Patreon links, the social medias, what else? Merch, you know, merch, like all that sort of thing. Could go in that one. That'd be awesome. I'm so lazy, check your Discord. Yeah, folks, so feel free to, if you haven't seen the video yet, make sure to have a peek. I have a lot of haters. I've got a lot of thumbs down on it. Not loads of thumbs down, but, you know, it's quite a few people secretly dislike me out there. But it makes me happy, to be honest, because once you get haters, you know you're doing something right. That's kind of how I see it. Because usually it means people are frigging jealous of you because you're awesome. Alright, so there we go, world. So we got those. We've got plenty to talk about in each of those. What we don't want is redundant channels, because because then we'll have too many and it'll get all confusing. So we're only having the things that, you know, have been discussed quite a lot. More could get added over time if there's anything extra that would work as a name. Now, there's another idea I thought of before we move on to story and characters. I wanted to mention this. I mentioned it very briefly at the start of stream. Discord. There's a feature in Discord that I wish they had but don't, and I've thought of a hack to make it work. Now, the feature that I wish they had is I wish they had sticky, persistent pins that were there forever. Because, have I got an example here? I don't even think I bother using pinned messages on Discord because nobody ever knows they exist because they're so intuitive and forgettable. Yeah, nobody knows that pins exist. Well, I suppose they do, but it's easy to just forget, and nobody's gonna... You want to have things in people's faces that's important, because otherwise people don't bother looking and then they don't even know what's going on. So it would be really cool if such a thing did exist, because then all the links, all the information would be forever there, and like what you'd read to learn about it. Because in Discord, it all gets buried under chat eventually, and all you see is people talking, and then that could be intimidating for anyone new because they don't know what's going on. And even though we have a lore Bible, so I was thinking of making it like super organised in a way that we have banners and text and a link to the lore Bible and like the key information on each of these topics as the first thing people read. But because pinned Discord messages are terrible and there's not enough attention on them and they get buried and people forget about them, you've got to go about things another way. So pins are good to describe a channel, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in the same way as a pin works, but have it as a sort of read-only channel and a type channel, if that makes sense. So for a bit of clarity, I'll show you what I mean. I did a bit of a practice in my channel here. I have a channel here. It's a secret channel, folks. It's called Raindrop Chronicles. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna have to zoom in a bit more. I had a little practice of how it could look. This could be the read-only channel, and it would have all the information in the read-only channel, and it would be there. No one would be able to type in there, and all you'd see is the info and links to the lore Bible and key info, pictures, etc. Just really key information. And then directly under it, there's this sort of thing that looks like an arrow that's got like emoji of someone chatting, and that would be the type channel where everyone could type. So it's kind of, I'm thinking about going it of the way as there's two channels for each of these things. One is the read only and one is the typing only. and it'll always be directly under it, and that way people will always see it, and it's not easily missed that way. Because as cool as pins are, and I'm glad they exist, I just wish Discord made them more effective in the way that they were always in people's faces and unmissable. And unfortunately they are missable. So many channels I go in and then I forget that pins are even a thing, because they're always just, there's only a little red dot to like sort of show that there's a pin, and it's not really, it doesn't really put enough attention on, especially if you work really hard to make it aesthetically pleasing, all this information, and like really well organised, for people to just not even realise it's there or that it's been updated or anything. Two ways to handle that: be announcement channels and put in check pins for this message, channel description. Even the channel descriptions I don't notice, like, but maybe that's me, but I always think if I haven't noticed something, then it's possible others wouldn't as well, because I'm quite observant, so if I haven't noticed it, then a lot might not. One info channel per major section can make sense. Then it can have a paragraph of info for each chapter chain. Yes. So as you can see here, this is sort of the aesthetic sort of thing I'm imagining. I've only got places and history as the examples here, which is the first two on the list. The history one is the timeline of the history from the beginning, all the ages of time. I'm trying to sum them all up in one word, you see. I didn't want to like have beginning of time as the title, because that would be too wordy, and I want to kind of keep these channel names short so that they don't go off the edge and get cut off. So keeping it as a one word thing keeps it as more aesthetically sort of pleasing to the eye and not as overwhelming. So yeah, so this one, the one with the emoji, the first one is the you see everything, read everything here about places, and that'd be the same for history. And there'd be like links to the Law Bible, the relevant Law Bible articles on here. So the history of the world one, for example, I'd like copy and paste that, add, where are we, history. It would go in the read only one. So you guys won't be able to type in this one. You'd only be able to type in the one below it where it's got the person talking emoji next to it. That would be where all the chat goes. And that way you can just click on here to see everything and any updates, because these messages will get regularly updated as well with new info. And that's another good thing, because it would get really super disorganised all in one channel, even if there was a first pinned message that I edited, because what if I used up the character limit? Then I'd have to write a new one and they'd all be split, you know, and it would look a bit messy. So it would kind of be nicer and more organised to have everything just put into the read-only channel. And who knows, maybe one day Discord will release a feature called Sticky Pins, where it will always stay there no matter what the pin, unless of course the person crosses it off. But if until then, I think it's probably most effective to sort of organise it in this way. And obviously we're going to make it look prettier than this, because this is a boring link. The goal is to make these read-only Discords really pretty, so that people are like, wow, this is really interesting to read, and eye-catching, and it inspires people to want to read more. But it will link to the Law Bible, because ultimately the Law Bible is going to have all the information in and the expanded information. The Discord is only going to have so much, like the key bits of info. But if people want to read even more, they'd click on the Law Bible link. So that's kind of what I'm going with. So we've filled in the world channels here, and obviously we've still got story and characters, which we can go back to in a sec. And also there's obviously things like art and sound and the mechanics, as well as potential Discord channels at some point. But as for things like the mechanics and the battles and balancing, I'm going to add them when it's relevant. When a playable demo comes out, for example, and people are testing that and they have feedback. So certain channels are going to be really handy for the future and essential to have at some point, but they're probably going to be added in the near future rather than now, because it's not entirely relevant at this point. But the things like anything to do with the story and the world is really what's the main collaboration for this project, because that's kind of what most of the streams have been to this point. So yes, it is, they do have more focus on the story and world building side of things, this Discord, more than anything else. But yes, there will be more things for more mechanic related things, sounds and art related things in the near future. But as for making it super pretty, let's just expand on how we're going to do that, because I've been doing some research into how to do appealing looking Discord posts, because I personally think Discord can look a bit boring. There's not much you can do to make it look nice. There's a lot of limitations with it, which is ultimately why the Lore Bible is always going to be key here, because that gives us far more flexibility with information. It would be limiting if we only had the Discord for this. But we're still going to want it to look somewhat decent for anyone who's a newcomer, or anyone who, say, wants to refresh themselves quickly with the project if they've been away for a bit. So this is what this is. Who's heard of webhooks here? It's something I've only just found out about this weekend myself on Discord. I didn't know it was a thing, but I think it's really cool. So I can show you in here actually. I did an example one yesterday. This is Carol. So you can, what it is, it's like a way of embedding information in a Discord message in a more aesthetically pleasing way than just typing it out. And it lets you do more with the way you present it and organise it, and lets you add links and things as well. So we've got Carol here, if I make it bigger. So if you click that, that would lead to Carol's Lore Bible profile. And if you click that button, that also will, well, that leads to the Instagram, but it can lead to any link you want. And the button thing is really cool. Unfortunately, the button thing wasn't working when I tested it, which I'm quite gutted about actually, because that was one of my favourite parts of this whole webhook thing. That you can add buttons, and I went on their Discord and asked, I did a support ticket and asked how I can get buttons working, and they said, but I still don't understand. So I'm hoping I'll be able to understand, because the button thing was pretty neat, I have to say. But the whole webhook thing in itself is pretty neat. I'll show you how it can be done. We don't need to have Captain Hook as the bot, by the way. We can have whatever bot we want. So Carol the Barrel, and oh my gosh, we don't. There's a way we can get her avatar, which I'll do in a sec. And here's the embed, and it lets you put in fields, which is what I did. I started filling in her key information in here just as a preview. Like, I'm not going to make this as the Lore Bible profile as detailed, but it could just have like summary in, like quick summaries, and if people want to read more, they can click here and read the rest. Because Carol's Law Bible profile, why have I got it to the Israel? Carol's Law Bible profile will be so much more detailed than this over time. It's going to talk about the scenes Carol's in, her relationships with other NPCs, and sort of character arc things that she goes through, dialogue and her past, and all sorts. These profiles could really be fleshed out more thoroughly, because at the moment we only have a few like traits and a few little things filled in. But what we'll have but this would be for character, like for Carol's profile, it would go under the character section, because obviously Carol will have a whole channel dedicated to herself because she's one of the main characters. So with the characters one, I was thinking of having a channel for each character, the like current characters in the game, not like everyone. So not every single community character is going to have a channel at this point. That might be a bit overwhelming. Eventually, maybe when they become more present in the story and there's more to discuss about them, their character arcs and stuff. But for now, it'll just be the ones that really have been very focused on, the fruits. Another. And then we can just have other for any other characters for now. And that other can always, if we feel like there's a certain character that really does need discussing in more detail, then we can always add a channel for them over time. Like we got 500 channels as our limit, so it's totally fine to go absurd with this, right? Because we have a huge number of potential channels, but we're not going to go over like 60 at this point in time overall, I don't think. But that might do for now, just having those, because they're like the current characters that have really been talked about at this time. And if anybody has any sort of thoughts about any of these, it can go into their specific Discord channel, and it'll also link to their profile, their bio as well. And yeah, if you want to talk about anyone like Lucer or anyone who's a person of history, they'd be more specific in the world discussion. Like talking about Traitoria or King Dollars, for example, would be in government. Talking about the Drow War and the humans could go in war. The Pantheon, if you want to talk about one of the legends, or anything specific to races, would go in the races section. I think there'll always be somewhere to talk about something with the way that we're doing it. And let me catch up with chat now. So and then it can have a paragraph in, yes, for each channel. Hi Rex, how you doing? It's good to see you. I'm so sorry about the really late thank you. I've been rambling on as I always do. 47 months, thank you so much. I'm so surprised, folks, today with all the sub support I've been having from you all. Thank you so much. Like, despite my leaving announcement, you still chose to sub to me for another month, so thank you so much. Thank you. Trotting in here with this 47 months sub. Yeah, one of the longest subs we've got in the channel, if not the longest. I do know there's some that are very close. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Give some hype to Rex and all those of the rest of you that have subbed today. Super appreciating. And for anyone who's coming in, who's wondering what we're doing today, we are doing a Discord glow up today. I'm roughly writing up the new channel ideas in a Google Doc first before we jump in and actually add them. So we're really expanding this Discord now. This is my fake Discord, by the way. This is just a place where I practice doing things. This example is how I want to aesthetically organise it. We're going to have 2 channels per topic. So, for example, the world, we have 12 world building topics for discussion on this list here that will all have their own sort of info about them before you are encouraged to talk about them if you wish. And that's the reason we're having 2 for each one. Places and history are the first 2, and I've shown in this example here what I'm planning to do. So the reason why we got 2 for each is, so one is a read only channel where you read all the info that's been sort of set in stone. So for example, in the Places channel, that will tell you about all the continent names, a description of each of the continents so far and what they're known for, those continents or countries and places in the world. And if you want to read more, it will lead to the Law Bible, the relevant Law Bible article. And then if you want to talk about something, you write in the channel below it that has the talking face icon. And that's to show this is where you talk, folks. I didn't want to just add Places chat at the end or history chat because it would have made it a bit wordy and it might have gone off the edge. So I wanted to add an emoji to simplify it. So you'll be able to talk in the one underneath, and that way it will always be visible, the channel with the information, and it won't get all messy and mixed in with the chat of the community. Because imagine over time we might really ramble and there's so much discussion going on, and then all the important stuff is all just merged in and messy with it all. And even if we pin the messages, which we can do, unfortunately pin messages are so in the background on Discord, there's not enough attention on them. So I don't think we can go wrong with having a channel dedicated that's a dedicated read-only channel for each of these things with the option for discussion below it. The main challenge with something like this is to make it look simple enough and aesthetically pleasing enough, because obviously there's always a risk of it looking a complete chaotic mess when you try and have read-only channels and that. But organised right, I think it can be a success. So I think this sort of format is great, and what I'm sort of looking at, where it's got almost a sort of arrow that looks like this is where you go if you want to talk about that. I was actually inspired by this server. This is what gave me the idea. It was a YouTube Discord template I found where someone had all these fancy little characters in front of the Discord channels, and I thought, I really like how they look like arrows. It almost would be great to do that, to show that read-only channel leads to a chat discussion channel. So that's kind of what I'm going for. So there we go. And I just noticed, Rose, you have only subbed for a year. Oh, I can't read, goes back to corner to lurk. Who's only subbed for a year? Me? Who's only subbed? Hi Legmark, you're leaving us. I say it ain't so. We'll be so sorry to lose you. But I do love your idea of small production vlogs though, and wish you all the best in your new journey. We'll miss seeing you live, but I'll be keeping up your content. Thank you, Legmark. And for anyone who hasn't yet seen, now Legmark has said that, I'm going to put up the command again. Watch the video, give it a like, folks, so we can sort of overpower the haters on that video. So don't forget to give it a like. I'd really appreciate that, because otherwise we're going to go down into yellow for our YouTube video on likes, which could kind of affect the video's sort of credibility. Give it a like already. Thank you so much, I appreciate you. It's totally, if you all like it, then it sort of outweighs those that dislike it, but and I saw the thing saying 1 year badge and thought it said 1 year not noticing the 48 months sub of you've done. Oh, that's something I do, Fantasia. I'm goofy as well like that. I'd think that. LOL, no worries. Hi there, how's the exercise going? Yeah, how's the exercise going, Legmark? Good question, Van. How are things going there, because I know you're streaming that at the moment, so I can't help be curious myself how that's going. But yes, Legmog, thank you so much for the kind words. It is sad to have to make this decision. It's took me a while. I've mulled over it for most of 2021, but haven't had the courage to take this step because, one, I've been very attached to my Twitch streams. They're very good in a lot of ways for the community collaboration in particular. But I'm trying to follow my head instead of my heart, that removing these from my life will give me a lot more time and focus and energy to really put into the production and development of the game. And in some ways there could be a plus to this new direction, because the shorter YouTube vlogs, rather than the VODs on YouTube, will be more easily digestible for people who follow this game and the development. You could, watch a 10 to 20 minute YouTube vlog every month while you're sort of eating your dinner, but it's a lot harder to follow a month's worth of live streams. That's 8, 9 to 12 3-hour live streams every month. Imagine being away for a month and having to catch up with that. It could be quite overwhelming. But it's a lot, because what I'm going to do these vlogs is like talk about what I've been doing that month, you see, and it's all going to be broken down, and a easy way to sort of keep up with what's happening, the progress. So in that way, I think it's going to be so much easier for newer people and people that probably aren't able to be around as much, because it's a way for them to keep up. It's been easy for people to get lost in what's been happening when they've not been around for a while. But in effort to keep up the collaboration side of things, my goal has been to make the most badass Discord possible, so that people can't help but be tempted to talk in it, once the streams have come to an end. And the Discord is going to be collaboration heaven for the game. We're going to make it really aesthetically pleasing to look at and read through, and it's going to be the central place for where collaboration is going to continue, and that's going to be much easier for me because I'm going to be able to sort of focus on things with Discord. I'll be able to talk in it whenever I want, right? It's like I won't feel pressured to answer instantly, and it's a sort of doing your own time kind of thing. But with the scheduled live streams, there's this pressure that you've got to do, and so much of your time and energy each day goes into it. It can get tiring, so I think this is going to be more effective in regards to productivity. And another good thing about the Discord for collaboration compared to live streams that I've realised is that you guys don't have to feel like you've got to be there at a certain time anymore, because the only problem with live streams is that, say if we say, today we're going to talk about Nigel Bookington, just as a random person. So we're gonna develop the character arc of Nigel Bookington, and something happened on that day and you missed that stream, and that was it. No more chance for you to discuss Nigel with me because the stream's finished. But with the Discord, you can talk about Nigel whenever you want now. He's got a chat. He's going to have a channel dedicated to himself, and there's going to be a read-only channel of his as well, where you can read all his sort of key points that we've discussed. And so in that way, it's easy for us all because we all just get to talk in there whenever we want, and we feel we don't miss out either. It's almost like you can do it at any time. There's not a schedule time for it anymore. Yeah, pretty cool. And but also, live streams aren't over forever. They're not disappeared and gone forever and ever. I'm still going to have them on YouTube, but just far less often, because I don't want to and never do them again. I think I still want them as part of the development, as a way for us to have community sort of Q&A and catch up and like that interaction each quarter of a year, you know, as a sort of big event where we get together and talk and update ourselves on everything. And because I think in a way it's good to do them just less often. So whenever that happens, whenever there is going to be a live stream on YouTube, I will make a little visual graphic on Canva for them or something and sort of say, I'm going to be live on this day at this time on YouTube, don't miss out, we're going to talk about this and this and this. The reason I want to do it on YouTube over Twitch is purely for visibility, because YouTube streaming is going to give me more visibility than doing it on here. The visibility on Twitch is almost non-existent now. It is for me anyway. For other creators it might not be as bad. It all depends with what you're doing, but I know for game devs it's atrocious. So it's about just being smart about it, isn't it? Well, welcome to join in. I'll be trying to persuade Rose to join in sometime. Yeah, I've got to start exercising. You're right, leg mog. Also, I need to scroll up because I missed some chat and Slobs isn't letting me. I think I stream sometimes when I'm sleeping or working out. I've been doing the Carol-driven YouTube workout in the morning. It's very chat. Carol? There's a Carol workout? What's this? A Carol the Barrel workout. I'm also back on my pilot episode production. I found the video Rose made one time. That will be included in the background. It's little Lisa. That's so cool. Make sure to send it us when as you do that. I want to see the progress. Has Poppy paid cut these days, Rose? Any Poppy content that's been added to the game? She's going to be really cool. I mean, she's not going to have her own character channel just yet, but I think she could in the near future, because what we're doing right now, we're going to have a category section on the Discord for the characters, and right now we're just having the 12 that are current present characters in the story. But as new characters are introduced, or we know they're going to be introduced soon, they've been foreshadowed or anything like that, we will add a channel for them too. You know, if there's opportunity for some discussion there about character arcs and dialogue and sort of relationships with other characters and way things can go with them. And I know Poppy's one of those. It's definitely the first act of the saga, because there's a sort of 6-episode structure that we're looking at, and broken down into 3 acts, so 2 episodes per act. And the first act is all taking place in the sort of Everbloom and nearby places bordering towns in the game, and I'm pretty sure that Poppy linking to Violet's arc, we need to change the name to Violet. What are we doing still calling her Rose? Linking into Violet's arc, because she's now called Violet the Vampire, which we wanted to still give the flower theme because it all just makes sense. She's going to be in episode 2 character arc for Violet. I can see really sort of expanding. We're sort of going to get hints of Violet's character and past in episode 1, but episode 2 is really where it's going to come to light even more, because we'll be actually going to the place where she lived, and that's where Poppy's going to come in and stuff. But I think Poppy's going to be heavily foreshadowed in episode 1. And there's going to be hints of her existence before we actually get into the nitty gritty. So it's going to be fun. And yeah, do you have an idea of how she fits in with the story? Oh, is Violet who used to be Rose? Yeah, so Rose Violet was Rose, and I changed the character name so she didn't feel as connected to me. I wanted her to be a more her own person. and her own identity, because Violet's actually very different to me as a person, so it only made sense. And I think it's got a nice ring to it, Violet the Vampire, hasn't it? And she's a fun character, and we do have an idea with Poppy. There has been a few things mentioned over the live streams over the months, and I tend to keep notes on these things that people mention. I never want them to go missed. I have a massive archive of things you guys have brought up in streams. So what I'm going to do, when all these Discord channels are set up, I'm definitely going to put a focus on to getting the Lore Bible more expanded and in more detail, because all these channels are going to link heavily to the Lore Bible, and all these things that you guys have said over the months, you might see little bits of them thrown into the specific articles as directions and sort of story ideas for them. So that will be fun, because there's so many things that are being discussed that have to get brought to light and put on things. So I see, yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm super hyped. So yes, expect, once we put an end to the live streams, once the live streams are finally finished, I'm going to have the time and energy to really start expanding the Lore Bible. We talked a bit about this in the Discord the other day, actually. It's always optional for you guys to help me out with things like this too. Even if you had sort of notes, or even if we had a discussion one day on Violet, say we spent a day in Discord talking about Violet in her channel in Discord, if you guys wanted to sort of copy and paste what everyone was saying and organise it, you're more than welcome to, and then it's easier for me to put that information in the relevant Lore Bible article. But of course it's not forced. If no one else does it, I'm going to do that myself. But if someone did do it, then I'd certainly be very happy, because it saves me a bit of time. Yes. And that's all awesome. I've got a dash, but if I don't catch you again, Rose, it's been an absolute joy to have found you on Twitch. Your content's been great fun. Thank you, Lego. I super appreciate it. And it's not over. I mean, the Twitch side of things is over, but I'm going to make it my goal to make things even more fun than ever. So, yes. Did do what was AFK? Oh yeah, what did I say? I've already forgot what I was saying before I responded to Legmark. And why are you crying, Fantasia? And so the characters are there, the world's there. The only thing we haven't filled in is the story. Oh yeah, remember what I was what did you want us to do? Yeah, so what it is, Fan, nothing is forced, of course. I'm not the sort of person to be like, you have to do this right now. Because everything's off your own backs, folks, and everybody's busy. But it was brought up in the Discord by Eld, I believe. If you want to have a look, we're talking more detail here of people sort of chipping in and collecting info that's discussed in the channels as we chat, and sort of break it down into docs yourself. You've done it yourself, Van. You did that Google sheet for me yourself, so you know exactly what all this is anyway, because you've done it for me before. It's just simply to summarise, collecting information and condensing it, and so that it's easy to look through and then turn into a Lore Bible article. If anyone ever wanted to do that while we were discussing things, like we had a day where we just really talked about the Pantheon, for example, in the channel, and fleshed it out more. If someone, anybody, myself included, wanted to grab all the chat and just summarise it all, that's always helpful, because that's what I'm going to do myself. If no one else does it, I'd look through the chat, grab all the information, sort of write a sort of summary, and then turn it into a Lore Bible article. So as you see, it's just if anyone ever wanted to, it's one of those things that but I'd be totally fine if nobody did either, and I'd just do it all myself. Okay, things are going to be easy in regards to that side of things because I've removed the live streams from my life, so I'm generally going to have more time to dedicate to all areas of the project: the game development, the social media side of things, the marketing side, the story side of things that I haven't been able to do before. The Discord chat, yeah, basically, because we've had plenty of chats, haven't we, on there, so there's going to be a time when all that chat will have to be put into a sort of summarised, tidy form, which we've spent time doing, isn't it? We've done that before, so I used you as an example when me and when I mentioned it. Here it is, it's here. This was the specific chat. I tagged you. There you are. Because I think that most of my conversation with you on story, history and key points are in our private chats, yeah. So there's been a lot of that, and I know there's going to be a lot of it on the public chats as well. So there's going to be, because at the moment there's not been much discourse. There's been the odd things that Met said and Zexion that have been pretty insightful in here that obviously I'm going to keep on record. But it's only been bits of chat now and again. And I can imagine, I hope with the direction we're going in with this Discord, we're going to have far more regular chats, probably not on a daily basis or anything like that, because I'll never get any game dev done if it's like every second of the day that we're let me bring my light forward so we can deal with this damn light. I don't know if we'll ever get it sorted in this room until I get my blinds. So yeah, not like all the time, not every second a day, because that would be a bit much, but even if it was every second of the day and people were posting in here that often, I'd just look at it in my own time anyway. I'd probably dedicate a certain time of the day to sort of responding or something. Alright, so story, here we are. So for this story, I was thinking something like that's dedicated to each of the quests so far. So as you know, folks, we've been focusing a lot on main quest 1 and 2 content at the moment. There's probably going to be 6 main quests. Looking at the rough skeleton so far, there's a plan for 6 main quests in Roots and Rumours. These main quests are quite chunky, they're not over and done with quickly. They're quite lengthy quests within themselves with lots of scenes within them. So breaking it down into parts, I could write it as main quest 1, but it's too long and it would go over the edge of the channel name, so I'm going to call it part 1 and part 2 instead, and maybe give it a title. I think we need to think of a good word to sum up what that part is about. It was actually called Lost Sister and the Sacrifice, the quest names I gave. Lost Sister because Fiona Buckington was lost, and the Sacrifice because Rosie sacrificed the fruits, or Fiona wants her to be sacrificed to the fruits. But we could condense that to just Sacrifice and Lost. I'm thinking of calling them just one word for simplicity now, especially on Discord, because it's not very kind in terms of channel length name. And gaps in letters, so keeping it just a simple one word thing is definitely going to be more aesthetically pleasing. I don't know if these sum up the quests as well as they could. We might want to think of new names for them if we want. That's totally fine. I mean, the first one's all about Fiona Buckington being missing, meeting Carol the Barrel, so it's joining the party, but it's really Nigel Buckington that triggers this quest with the fact that Fiona is missing. We could even call it, we call it if it had multiple meanings and connected to the whole Carol thing as well. Could call it missing, but that, I feel like lost gives a sort of double meaning with Carol as well, because she's almost lost herself because she's a barrel and doesn't belong in the world. And you as a hero could be sort of lost in a way, because you've just appeared from the middle of nowhere in the middle of a barrel. And sacrifice is all about the fruits and that. So we'll keep them as that for now, but you know, if we think of a better name that sums up these parts, each of these parts of the story even more better, then we'll think of that. But something that's one word long would be great. Okay, and obviously we'll have part 3 coming up. I'm going to actually probably make a lock channel if I can, that's still visible to everyone. Is that possible, to make a locked visible channel? I don't know. But if so, I'd have it as part 3 question mark to just show that that's coming up, because otherwise people think that it's like we've only got 2 parts. So it's kind of good to show that there's others coming up. I might call it part 3 plus, to show that there's more than just 3 parts as well. And then just have it as those channels for the story at the moment, because obviously we're still in the early stages story, but it'll be expanded upon with the extra parts when it's time. And side quests and stuff could get here too, and they could have their own little title as well, like Stumpy. It's not part of the main quest, so I mean, we could always call the main one main 2 and main 3, or is that a bit confusing? Is part better? Yeah, maybe part's better. The only reason I was thinking of main was because we'd have side for side quests. Stumpy. I probably might not call it Stumpy though. Call it something else that's more mysterious. So, I mean, you know, there's plenty of directions we can go in regards to naming things. Don't know if we're going to have any of the part stuff in right now. I mean, we'll leave it like that for now. Okay, so should we get the channels in? We'll get the channels in now. I'm gonna hopefully get the button working. Have they responded to me yet? I don't think they have. No, it's not that one, it's this one, Discord Club. I haven't responded to my ticket yet, but I'm hoping that I'll get a response soon so I can get that troubleshooting issue fixed. We'll get these, because we've wrote the channels now, we'll get them in. And then once the channels are in, we'll start thinking about the roles, the new roles for the Discord that we were talking about just. And as for the content within the channels, that's something that's going to happen over time. It's not going to happen all in one day today, because there's a lot to sort out and organise. But just see it as we're going to get more added over time to the read-only channels, each of them. I've got a lot of organisation and sorting out to do to get it right. Hello Rose and everyone, how's it going? Hi Yorkshire, how are you doing it today? So good to see you. Hope you've been having a good day. We're focusing on the Discord today. We're about to glow it up. I'm going to hide just the role bit for now. Right, so here we are. Here's our Discord. Are you ready, everyone? I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to do what Met said and just lock all these channels for now. How do I lock a channel? I'm a Discord noob. Edit channel. Advanced permissions. Yeah, this might. No, this didn't lock it. I want to make it viewable just for me only at the moment, folks. This one, because I don't want to delete them, because there's some really, really cool ideas people have had in this Discord. So I'm going to lock them, I keep them as an archive for myself, and then we're going to make the new ones. But I can't even figure out how to lock a channel. Very well, thank you for asking. Hope all is well your end. Yeah, I'm excited. Been looking forward to doing this Discord all week. Well, I wanted to do it on stream with you guys, not off stream. I'm gonna have to Google this. If anyone knows, tell me, but I'll find out myself if not. How to lock a Discord channel. Open Discord, click permission. Okay, click Xnet. Okay, so it is the permissions thing. It's a bit long and winded, but so view channel everyone. I think that's just it cross, right? On that first bit. So let me know, guys, if the channel becomes private for you. Oh, did I do it on that one? And Met asked the question earlier as well about documents and dialogue. Let's just have a look at what we got here. So the world. So I see the world building as anything to do with world building. So if the lore tidbit, script, book or text or whatever, it depends entirely what it's relevant to. If it's say the scriptures of one of the legends in the pantheon, except for example, it could go in there. I see that as the relevant topic. If it's something to do with the government, you know, it's whatever it's totally relevant to. But if there's a more, you know, I'm up for sort of channel suggestions as well. If there's a world building channel I haven't got that might be really important to add, feel free to say as well, because we got a 500 channel limit. We don't have to just have 30 channels and feel tied to that. We can go over the top as we want over time. Obviously we're not going to go completely over the top because it would get overwhelming, but you know, we just have to have what's necessary and for discussion, you see, because if there's something that isn't there that needs to be, why not add it? If we got 500 channels to work with. So permissions, view channel hide. This way I'll get to still see it, but just you guys won't. But anything that's in there, it's not going away, it's staying, so don't worry. That's the reason I'm not deleting them completely. The fan, I mean, we still got the fan art one and the polls, which they might come back. I'm going to put them on private just for now. But they'll obviously come back, especially the poll one. Because we love our polls. Where am I going? But I can't think of a place to put it right now. One sec, let me think. Let's have a look. We could have another category after characters called, I mean, I would call it other. Well, we could call this real life. How about that? And then have this one as other, and then things like fan art and polls could go in there, and any other channels if we think of any more. So I'll pop those back in there once the other channels are done, and I'll turn them off private. So they should be gone now for you guys. Let me know if they're gone, and then because they should be on private. What I'm seeing recommends making the archive category first rather than changing the channels individually. The replies in archive old chat channels. Oh, okay. Let me have a read of that. Oh, that's something people want as an actual feature, but you can't actually do it yet. And someone's replied, the first reply says, the first reply says, great idea, but you can actually do something like this relatively easy. Click edit channel, go to permission sync now. Yeah, I'll keep that link tabbed open so I can read through that properly later, because otherwise stream will be finished once I've read that. But it'll be useful to know. So I don't know if that's worked, if it's on private, but I'm gonna put it at the bottom for now so it doesn't distract us while we make these new channels. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it there. I'm being really indecisive, and I'll just write above them. Let's just, these are getting hard to move. There we go, that's easier. I'm going to rename this category as other right now. These will get changed to the new ones in the future. Once the streams have come to an end, I'll get rid of the live announcements and schedule then, and add support the game and sort of glow up these other channels. But for now, I'll leave it as it is. So here we go. We're going to start. We'll just collapse these. Collapse them all. Create channel. No, create category. Yeah, there we go. Create category. So, the world. We'll get them in. The story, I can't spell, my tire pads are all over the place. And again, let me put in my leaving Twitch video in case you guys haven't seen it. Give it a thumbs up, please. Get rid of those haters, no dislikes. Even though it don't even matter really, because even the dislikes give visibility. They actually do. I researched it. So it's kind of their loss to dislike video, because it kind of still helps the creator to some degree. It still counts as an interaction, and can help it be seen in the algorithm. So, okay, there we go. So the world story, the characters, this is going to be so much more exciting, this new Discord. Even when I was looking in the explore, the discovery, there wasn't loads of channels that had a lot of channels. I'd love to see some Discords that had actually used up the 500 channel limit, just for pure curiosity to see what they look like. Okay, so here we go. Right, we'll do the world first. Right, so I want to set it up like my fake Discord is, with this sort of aesthetic. So let's do it. create channel, text channel. Right, so we'll just call it places for now. I can always rename it after. And then places again. Now the first one, oh, it won't let us because we've already got it named. Now we've got to do the editing now. So here we go. And oh, there we go. The reason it didn't work was because I had it closed. I clicked the category. I'll go open the category. That's why it didn't work. Not because you can't have two channels that are the same name. That was my flawed thinking. So copy that. Now, obviously, this first one only is going to be read. I'll open all these because I want to see what they all look like. This one is going to be read only. So permissions. Send messages cross. I think that's as simple as that. You just put the cross on send messages. And then that sorts it out right. Let me know if I've missed something out, folks, but I believe that should work. It lets me write a message, but I assume that's because I'm the channel owner. I apologise about green screen. There's nothing I can do, I'm afraid, though. We're going to have to put up with the bad lighting. Okay, so yeah, it's no different to me. They're both the same. I can type in both of them. But for you guys, it shouldn't let you. I'd be curious to know if it does or doesn't, because sometimes I wonder if it's worked. Okay, so we're not going to fill in the content now for this, even though I've kind of showed you an example of how it looks, because it takes a while to set up a webhook. It can be a bit technical. There's a few little things I've got to click to get it all working, but that's kind of what we're going for. What you see here with these little separated segments and buttons and hyperlinks and pictures that actually look good and not squashed, are kind of what I'm trying to go for here. Open the Discord to check the channel listing. Yeah, it's been updated. Yay, huzzah. So I'm probably going to add the content off stream, folks, for all these read-only channels over time. Maybe by Thursday there'll be a few already in. That would be really cool. But it's going to be a process over the next coming weeks and forever. We'll see all these channels get info added in, because it's going to be hard to discuss them without the context, isn't it? Because at the moment it's just places. Okay, so once we got the info for places up, it's going to be much easier for us to get inspired and know exactly what we got to talk about. But it'll be nice to get them there so we can see how it just looks for now. I might write a coming soon little thing just to say later on. Okay, so is there a way I can easily copy and paste this channel thing? Let me just open up a notepad file and do that, so that it's easy copy and pasteable for me. I'm going to give an emoji to each one so they stand out apart from each other. The next one is history. So that includes the ages of time and that whole timeline we made, the history will. And I'm going to get a window up, so history emoji. This is the way I search for relevant emojis. Spelled it wrong. Yeah, so the scrolls come up, so we'll use that as our history emoji, considering that is apparently the one for history according to Google. So I'm going to have to remember to turn these all into read-only channels. Otherwise, you'll all be typing in them and you're not meant to. These ones with the emojis have to look, not be blocks of chat. These are the read-only bits. I have to remember that. I'm hungry. So next channel is races. So and getting all these up and knowing I have to fill each of these with content soon to sort of encourage discussion, it's gonna push me to get more law Bible articles done for these things, because for example for the races one, I'm going to be like, oh, we need a law Bible article for all of the races now, you know what I mean? So that will get me getting the articles for them ready, and they don't have to be super fleshed out this stage, they can just have bare minimal information in for now, but then over time we'll flesh it out. So race is obviously not that. What would be a good emoji for race? It's not an actual car or horse, I don't think. Species. What's a good animal or thing that really sums up the races in the game? Because if we have a reptile, it's like ignoring the other races. So I don't know if I want to have just one of the races as the icon. Trying to think of oh, I know, maybe biology emoji. What about DNA emoji for that? Because I suppose that's relevant, right? I can't think of anything else that's general for races, unless there's another idea someone has for a good emoji. Feel free to. I'm wondering whether to call it species instead of races. I'm not sure what sort of naming convention we can use for this, because in a way they sometimes feel more like species than races. I'm so hungry, and that kind of links better with the DNA icon. But yeah, give me feedback, folks, and we can always change these names if we like. Actually, we'll call it that instead. It's fine to do that. We'll have it like that for now. Okay, so a new channel. If anyone wants to suggest role ideas now or in chat, feel free to, because I hope we have time to discuss them after I've added these channels, but if not, it'll be cool to see in the VOD some ideas. So that I can get them ready before next stream. Or even we can do them next stream. We can dedicate the next stream to doing the roles if we want, and getting the bot set up for role reactions. And thinking of ideas, because it seems like this stream's been more dedicated to the actual channels, and I don't want to neglect the role side of things and end up just leaving it and not bothering. And then we can go into discussing the Patreon and things like what could be on the new vlogs, YouTube vlogs, and the new content and things like that next week before our vinyl stream. So I put these should all be on read only. Feel free to check, and if any aren't, just give me a knock. I'm gonna probably change the where's our aesthetic server. Just looking at how they've done it. Probably what I'm gonna do is, because I want the other channels to match and look the same, is I'll just take this little icon and put that at the front so they don't look weird and different. We'll keep consistent then. This is how the Lo-Fi Girl Discord channel do it. They have this like the line thing separating, which sort of looks quite aesthetically pleasing, but mainly I'm using it for the purpose of so it looks like there's an arrow leading to the chat discussion. But I want to make sure these all look the same. Hi Congator, it's so good to see you. How are things? Yet been updated. And hey Rose, hey chat mate, the stream just got back from the beach. Oh my gosh, you went to the beach? Was it nice? Did you have like a trip? How did it go, Cog? It's lovely to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And just as a reminder, folks, especially if you've only just popped in and you weren't here at the start of the stream, the last stream is stream 260. We're going on for another couple of weeks until we hit that stream 260, and there will be a reveal on that stream related to the game, something visual to show off. It's not me signing my soul to EA games like Chub Cheeks thought. It's nothing like that kind of announcement, but it's something pretty hype and more visual based rather than news based, but it kind of is still news based. You'll see. It's something to just be excited about. I wanted to have something to show off for the last stream so that it was memorable and that we'd remember it forever because of that. Although I'm saying it's the last stream, it isn't really. It's the last Twitch stream, but it won't be the last stream forever because there will be streams will be going to YouTube after that, but obviously not twice a week. It'll be like once every quarter, once every season for now. If they were very worthwhile, I might think about increasing them, but it would never be to the degree that they have been on Twitch, because then I would be going backwards and wouldn't be productive of my time again. But I think it will be beneficial to still have them now and again on an occasional basis. Here we go. So I've just put that little thing in front of all the channels now, just so that these new ones that we're adding do look the same. Because for those of you coming in, we're organising our Discord now so that we've got it ready for collaboration together. Then it's all organised. It's not going to be done today, of course. This is an ongoing thing. There's gradually going to be content added to these. The top ones are read only, and the ones underneath are for the chat. So that's how it's going to be all working. I wanted a read only channel so that all the info, all important info on that specific thing would go in there. So because otherwise with the text only channels and no read only channels, nobody would know what on earth we were talking about. You know, people would be like, oh, what? I'd love to talk about the history, but I don't understand the history. But the read-only channel will give all that information. And yes, there is such a thing as pinned messages, and I could have still done it that way, but I just think the pinned messages aren't very good on Discord. They are in some way, but there's not enough emphasis on them, and they're easily just forgotten about and in the background. I personally like pinned messages to be persistent and like stick it at the top when you go on a channel, so they're always visible, unless someone crossed them off. But they're just too much in the background, so I wanted to have read-only channels so that all important information, like for example on the places channel, we'd have the world map here, we'd have a paragraph about each of the contents, a short description on those the countries. There's only one big continent, what am I talking about? But each of the countries that we did in remember when we had the country naming stream the other week? That information and the stuff will go in here, and it'll look all cool, and then it'll give, you know, people will have the context on what to say about it, and same for all these ones, and it'll all link to the Law Bible as well. So this example here with Carol, this webhook that I'm working on, is an example of what Carol's channel will look like. Just a very early stage. Obviously that wouldn't be called FD, we'd call it read more, that button, and then you click that and it'll take you to the Law Bible. If the buttons work, because for some reason they aren't working, I've actually gone on their Discord and asked them how to get the buttons working, so hopefully I figure that out and it's gonna be something I can fix, because the buttons make the webhooks really cool and elegant looking, rather than just a really boring plain hyperlink. Looking awesome, yay! It's gonna look awesome when it's done. I'm not turning off streaming until all these channels are added, so I better hurry up. And possibly a language email if it's meant more as a cultural separation, but species does seem a clearer distinction than races if it's meant to be biological. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, biological is a big thing, because the way they are born is different, as we've discussed already. Reptiles likely come from eggs, which is very different to humans and some of the other races in the games. The biology and culture and way of life of them is different as well, though. So it's true that the culture thing will come into it, Met. I guess, you know, I don't mind the DNA one, but if there was another emoji that really got to the heart of I'd pick that more, but I don't know if there is a good one. But yeah, who knows? I might have a look. But the DNA one will do for now. So the next one is, let's copy and paste this. Next one after species is magic. So magic, and we can totally use. I like to use something epic looking for magic, like something like that. Some of the looks like magical, so there we go. Oh no, why hasn't that emoji shown up? Why is it a thingy like that instead of the actual comet? Maybe we'll use the shooting star instead. Then if it doesn't want to allow us to use the meteor. There we go, that's worked. There we go, so that'll have to be put and redone. I'm going to have a quick BRB, folks, just a quick bathroom break. But I will be back soon, and I do hope to get these channels in before going off for my dinner. If I don't, we might just finish the world ones for now. But I will be popping them all in as soon as I've had my dinner. I'll be too excited. But yeah, expect this to be a work in progress, this with the categories, folks. On Thursday's stream, we're gonna focus more specifically on the new roles that the Discord will have. For anyone who's coming in, we're gonna have maybe a role reaction where you can actually pick your own roles, what you think you like, rather than me assigning them to you. There might be some extra roles like for Patreon supporters eventually as well, but there'll probably be a role reaction for pick your favourite barrel character as well, including Woody and Oliver as well, so that it shows who you stan, Carol stan and Meryl stan and all that. So roles on Thursday, so that'll be fun. But today's all been about the categories really, and we're still getting them all in. There's way more to get, so I'm gonna have a quick BRB and then I'll be back and we'll finish off putting more in before we go. Have a cup of tea or something, folks. I'll be about 5-10 minutes. for being a while, folks. I was gone for quite a bit then, wasn't I? Don't think we're going to sort that lighting out somehow. It's always at the end of stream, isn't it, when that happens, not at the beginning, funnily enough. It was my lighting was much better in my old room, put it that way. And this will have to be right for the YouTube videos when I finally do them. So to think what to do. Oh, it's got better again now. Thank you for the welcome back. I went to check on Seb. Seb had come for some food, so I was just making sure he was okay. Seb is a cat that lives in our garden, who was here before we moved in. He doesn't have a home, so we're taking care of him. Okay, so let's carry on with that. Did I put this one on a read only? Some messages. Okay, cool. Next one is technology. What icon did I give the tech in my video? Oh, I think it was a microscope. I liked that one actually. And sometimes, you know, tech and magic do mingle. But tech generally is a little bit more less specific than magic. That could be anything, like with how anything that helps make citizens' lives easier in regards to things like communication, travel, food, and a bunch of other stuff that we made a list of. Welcome, I just had some lunch. I was starting. I'm hungry as well. We're having a pizza again today, so I'm looking forward to that. We're gonna order it very soon. The next one is government. Silly Billy. I don't like it when they change the emoji to one of them ones. I like it to be because it looks strange and it won't be consistent. But no, some emojis that do that with, which is a shame because I did like this building for the government. I thought it was a good one. I wonder if there's another emoji we could have for government. Maybe the ballot relay box. That's not what we use for poles, I don't think, so. Don't know what else could represent them. What about a suit? Person in a tuxedo, maybe. That's probably better, actually. Yeah. If we can't have the fancy house thing, we'll have it be that. Oh, does it get changed to? Some do, I've noticed. Not all of them. Most emojis work absolutely fine and stay as they should. But there's the odd one or two that they change, which I think is great for this one, to show off what's a text channel, because it's very simplest. It keeps it minimal and not confusing, or too over the top or too colourful. But for the actual read-only channels, I like it to be a colourful emoji. So yes, did I put down read-only? No, I didn't. I'll have to double check all those after. So the next one is gonna be economy. Which I think is worthy of being a separate one from government, because there's so much. It's such a huge part of the world, with it being raindrops as the currency in this game. So it's definitely worthy of having its own, even though it's sort of a branch off government, because they were the ones that founded it and decided to put this sort of law and change of currency in place. But it's a diverse enough topic for discussion, because there's been talk about groups of people that have rebelled against it, and all the draw in the southwest, for example, perhaps in the desert, who probably don't get many raindrops falling there. So there's plenty of things to talk about there. But of course, you can totally wait for me to get up the relevant read-only channel and links and fancy text before we talk about it in here, if you wish, so that there's some context. It's going to take a bit of time to get all those channels filled. So that would be economy. What toppings will be on my pizza? We're boring. Choosing tomato. We actually had toppings on our pizza last week by accident. They gave us the wrong ones. And we were mad because it made our pizzas greasy, and I felt like a pig after eating it. I felt like I'd had fast food and I needed to do exercise for weeks on end after I had that pizza, because it was like we got it, we picked it up off of the box and there was grease like dripping down, and I personally hate that. I don't like it. I like my pizzas dry. But some people might like the grease. Who knows? Everyone's different, right? But yeah, that's why I like my pizzas to just be cheese and tomato, because there's usually a bit less grease. All depends on the brand though that you go for, because I've had cheese and tomato that are very greasy in the past, which has been a turn off. But we have Domino's, which I know it's blooming Domino's, though the biggest corporate poops ever, but the pizzas here in the UK are pretty nice anyway. I don't know what they're like across the pond. They might not be as good, but here they're my favourite in regards to how they taste anyway. The cheese and tomato ones, that is, not the one I had last week. Hello Zephyrus, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. You're seeing us glow up our Discord. You have come at a very, very new chapter in our lives. This Discord is the sign of things to come. So war is the next one, and what better than swords meeting, cross swords for this one. Are you butt face? It's a stupid Unicode emoji again, or just when I got really excited about having a cross swords emoji, because that's perfect for war. So what else is good for war then? Fighting. I want something that really represents it well though. Nothing is as good as a cross swords, damn it. That's why it's so greasy. Domino's is usually greasy, but I like Domino's mostly. However, since I moved where I am, I go to smaller pizza joints, better tasting. Yeah, I mean, here the cheese and tomato ones here are as dry as a bone, and I love them like that. You pick them up off the box, and there's barely any grease on there, and that's perfect for me. I really enjoy them. I usually have sauces like garlic sauce or sweet and sour or barbecue with them, just to give them a bit of extra edge, but I do like them plain just to avoid the grease. But yeah, we had pepperoni and mushroom and stuff on them by accident last week that we didn't ask for, and they were dead greasy. So yeah, if you do have toppings, it seems it's true, it makes the pizza more greasy. I'm gonna type in war and see what comes up. That is a real. I mean, what about a warrior? Military. I've spelled it wrong, haven't I? There we go. Military. Yeah, there's an I. I suppose you could give them a medal, but I don't like that. I'm anti-war, me. I'm not for giving medals for fighting. I know, I just mean we should probably just have a more... we should have probably a more blood, I don't know. Fighting. Damn it. Sword, just a sword on its own. I mean, we could go for the person fencing, but... or the shield, even. I love cheese, but I like other stuff on pizza. If you don't get a meat topping, it shouldn't be greasy. Yeah, I find that if I do like have toppings, I tend to go for like the chicken toppings or meat-based toppings if I'm gonna have a topping on my pizza. I hate pineapple on pizza, but no judgment for anyone that likes it. I know that it's popular amongst some. But the problem, yeah, with meat-based pizzas is they are greasy. Oh, I really want the perfect war emoji. War emoji. What about a soldier? Is there no soldier? I mean, we could use the guardsman, but we've already had a man symbol for the government, and I don't want them all being too similar. A knight. There's a flag. I don't know if I liked the shield. It looks... I don't even like the flag. I don't know. I think we need it to be... What about the crossed flags? Maybe just the fence one. I'm being very indecisive with this one. It's because I had my heart set on the cross swords, but they decided that they didn't want to give us a nice emoji for that, so we'll just have the fence. It clearly looks like someone fighting, right? So we'll go for that one. War. I'm a big fan personally of having an emoji to represent different channels, because it can just look like a massive text, especially when you have a lot of channels otherwise, and that can not be, it can be a bit overwhelming for me anyway. It breaks things down a bit. So did I put that on? Send messages, save. Did we do the same for the... Oh, I did it on the wrong channel. I did it on the one that actually... Oh no, I did. I thought I did it on the wrong channel, but it's fine. I did it correct. I didn't do it on the economy one. I think I did do it on the government one though. Just making sure that these are read only. But these ones should be fine. If there's ever any issues and you can't write in one of the ones you meant to, let me know. So the next one is the Pantheon. Which, what better than God's emoji? Let's see what we got. I kind of like the angel one for Pantheon. I don't know, we could have gone for the trident, but I know I like the angel. You know what might match with the angel? The devil, the war. No, I think, come to think of it. It's a good contrast. Fence was okay, but a bit plain in colour. Okay, so stop that being read only. We're nearly there. We're getting there with the world section anyway. It looks big because let's go on normal size, reset to that. It doesn't look as big when you zoom out to the size it should be, but it still does look pretty big. because it's got double channels, it's got 2 of each. So we have a few more. And then this next one is calendar. And obviously that's an easy emoji. It would definitely be a massive channels if we didn't. Oh, oops, wrong one. It would be a massive channels if we didn't have the nice emojis to break it all down. But I think the way we're presenting it, because we're going for the aesthetic sort of thing, is helping. Calendar. But mostly it's good to have specific things to talk about, especially when you've got the context for those specific things, because I think that could help provoke discussion. When given something to go off with them, which is the plan. Alright, so another one, 2 more left now, and obviously we've still got characters and story, there's categories which I'll do off stream. So the next one is holidays and festivals, which could be part of the calendar one. If some feel better to be joined, put together, we can always do that at some point. I think the celebration to show holidays is probably a good one. Because I mean, we could merge it calendar, but at the same time, I think it's worthy of having a lot of talk about festivals because they're fun, and it really helps flesh out the world. We spent a bit of time thinking of some of them together. I can't seem to find the emoji I'm after. Celebrate. And we have that poll, don't we? Is it? With the polls where we vote for festivals, so I'll be making a law bible article on that for sure. Celebrate what's going on. I can't find it. Oh, party popper. Yeah, see, it was just the party popper I wanted. And now one more, which is language, which is for curse words, but it's language to put it politely. So profanity. Is there an emoji that shows someone swearing? Because that'll spell it out. Or is there another one? Because it's not just about the curse words and swearing of the world, it's language as a whole. But we could use that one as the one, because I can't think of anything that could work other than that. So Because one thing I like is, you know, us coming up together with loads of really cool, unique, different sort of phrases that they could use, that are light-hearted and playful and fun, that are sort of inspired by the Pantheon as well. Like, what was the one there was one we came up with for Eurosar. By Eura, or Holy Eura. I don't know if that would go as well, but by Eura might, like by Eura. Luoff. I don't know about that one. But you know, like using some of the Pantheon people's names as sort of curse words as well. And then we got Flesh Bag with Karen. There's probably opportunity for plenty more. So I thought it was worthy of coming up with a channel, because I don't want things like that and those little nuances to be forgotten and left behind. Because people could have some really good creative ones over time. There we go, so that was the last one, and you know, there might be more in the future. We don't know. Any other world building topics could easily slot into the others for all we know that come up over time. But if we find there's something we really do need a category for, we'll just add it. But these will totally do for the foreseeable future. And I think they're all on read only, and over time I'm gonna start adding content to these read only channels, and obviously the ones that have been written in will light up, so you guys will know when something's being talked about, because it'll go white, which helps a lot. And for now these ones are empty, but there'll be some coming up. I'll be doing some off stream tonight. Cool. Awesome, guys. Oh my goodness, that was fun. It was all about the categories today, so I'll be back on Thursday, everybody. It's very bright in this room at the moment, so it's changed. My green screen's gone a different colour, and that's why I'm having lighting issues. I look forward to keep blinds, and hopefully everyone will be sold when I record YouTube videos and things. Or that will hopefully be a thing of the past. The dodgy lighting. And we'll be doing rolls on Thursday, folks. So it's been about the categories today. I'm going to still continue working on these categories, adding stuff in here so you can read stuff. You'll link to the relevant Law Bible article, and we'll think of the roles and do all that, handle all that next time on Thursday. So it's all about Discord this week, which is really handy because we want this Discord to be prepared and awesome before the final stream, so it's all there and ready as our new community tool and hangout spot. And then for the last week we'll move on to like discussing the other platforms I'll be using and things like that as well. Hope you have a great day. So when will the topics be ready to use? Anytime. I believe you guys can actually talk in these right now. I believe they are open, so you can totally talk in them. But it might help when there's context, you know. It might not encourage discussion as it is at the moment with nothing there. But whenever there's something there, it'll light up, it'll go white, and I think that will for the read-only channels as well. So just keep an eye out, and you know, what's put in these read-only channels might help spark some discussion. And I think it's pretty cool to have it all easily accessible like this for everybody, for the whole entire community for free. The law Bible was always like that anyway, but not everybody notices the law Bible who joins the Discord, so is again another place for people to be like, oh yeah, you can talk about that, and you'll link to the law Bible anyway and be expanded upon on there. So it's just an easily accessible place for people to sort of read about the world in a minimal way, and chat about it directly underneath. So whenever you want to talk, feel free to, though I'm not expecting much discussion until we start getting the read-only stuff and little bits and bobs added, so that there's something for you guys to actually go off there. And thanks for your stream today. You're welcome, Kong. Yeah, so keep an eye out, folks, and we'll carry on with this Discord stuff on Thursday and talk about roles and all that fun thing. We had some really good ideas there today, so we'll just expand on that on Thursday. Thanks for hanging out, everyone, and have a good couple of days. I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.